So I am heading off to do a track day in my car, which is a Polestar 2, an EV. And I thought I'd make a video about the logistics involved in doing a track day in an EV, because honestly, if you don't get the setup and planning right, then your day might be over before it even begins.
Smoking brakes.
Oh crap, it stopped working. Now I've done several track days in this car, from Silverstone, Brands Hatch. I even went over to the Nürburgring and had a fantastic time there. And I've learned an awful lot from all the sessions that I've done. Now, I'm not saying I'm an expert, I'm far from it. However, I have also improved my driving from each subsequent session that I've done. And at my last time at Bedford Autodrome, I actually had a coach for the whole day, and that was worth its weight in gold. That was absolutely fantastic.
And ideally a straight line, just go straight for the curb, release the middle for your exit and then back to the right. In a non-EV, is the lift. The engine braking would be enough to tuck the nose into some of the corners.
Now, taking an EV to a track day is not just about driving fast, because as we know, the powerful EV is phenomenal in a straight line, but it's all about managing the experience, from the battery to the tyres and brake temperature. If you haven't worked out a strategy including charging on your way to the track and whilst you're at the track, then you're basically stuck. Hold it there, it clicks and goes green. Any minute now. And we're doing it. I found that my car will do probably a couple of hours, which works out at about 4 15 to 20 minute sessions with breathing time in between before it needs a charge. That's fairly standard for most vehicles on the track, I think. However, one challenge you'll face is you don't have EV chargers at a track, whereas most tracks will have some form of petrol strategy. So you'll either have a few petrol pumps there, or a guy with a big tanker that will fill you up at slightly eye-watering prices, but at least it's on site. So today I'm on my way to the track, and I'm going to show you exactly how I have prepped the car from the day prep. So for example, sticking my wheels in the back because I have a spare set of wheels, to just my car in general, the changes that I made to it from a stock Polestar 2. So a bit about my car. It is a 2020 launch edition Polestar 2. The Polestar 2 is a fantastic car because it comes with 408 horsepower as standard and a bucket load of torque through all four wheels. And if you pay as good as £1,000 to the dear people at Polestar in Sweden or wherever, a week or so later, through the over-the-air updates, they will send you another 68 horsepower, which takes it to 476 horsepower. Which I'm not sure if that's quite good value for 68 horsepower for £1,000, but I didn't have to get my hands dirty, and you can really tell the difference. So this is a car that will do 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. You can do that in flip-flops. My granny could do that. The one that drives, not the other one. So yes, as stated, EVs, phenomenally fast in a straight line, but how can you make it good around a track? So this car is far from standard. It's got aftermarket brake pads at the front, and it's got Castrol SRF brake fluid. I found after my first few track days that the brakes definitely were fading after a few fast and hard laps, and the brake pedal was definitely getting a little bit squishy. So I stuck in some EBC yellow stuff pads because they are the only aftermarket high performance pads that are available for this car, and they're genuinely phenomenal. They get better as they get hotter, and there's zero brake fade, coupled with the Castrol SRF brake fluid, which is eye-wateringly expensive. A normal litre of dot whatever fluid is probably about 16 quid. This is 60 odd quid per litre, but I'm driving a 2.2 tonne car, and you want to go from very fast to very slow as quickly and safely as you can, and at the end of the day it's only 90 quid on fluid. by far the best handling mod that I've done is KW V3 coilovers all round, coupled with a stiffer rear anti-roll bar or sway bar, whatever you want to call it, and that has transformed the handling now. So it's dropped it by about 35mm all round, and you can adjust the dam pin. Initially when I was going on track, I would have the dam pin fully closed, full stiff on the bump, and I thought that was the better option, but actually I do it about 5 clicks open at the front and 4 clicks open at the rear, and improves the grip, improves the cornering significantly. Final thing I do is I have a second set of wheels running summer tyres, Continental Sport Contact 7s, which again are as close to a track specific tyre that I could drive on the road that fits these wheel specs as I could find. I wouldn't mind getting a set of slightly more track focused rather than ultra high performance summer tyre, but the choice is limited, so beggars can't be choosers. I'm happy with what I've got, and it works very, very well. They've lasted 5 or 6 track days plus several days at the ring, so very, very happy with that. Other bits about the car: it's got Pilot and Plus, which means you can take your hands off the wheel and it will steer itself for a portion of time. It also has got the adaptive headlights, which are witchcraft when you're at night, and it's just highlighting the road and not the cars in front of you. Anyway, gonna have a chill now, do a bit of driving, and I'll catch up with you later. Hello, voiceover Ian here. So, after driving up from the south coast, which takes about 2.5–3 hours to get to Bedford, I stayed in a travel lodge, which is only about 15 minutes away from the track. But the great thing about this travel lodge is, as you can see, it has a slow charger, 7 kilowatt, in the car park, 50p per unit, which isn't cheap. You know, when you're paying 5p a unit at home, it feels a bit expensive, but you know, a hotel bed costs more than my bed at home, but it serves a purpose. So plug it in, get the app going, and then stroll off to the hotel for Tesco's meal deal and a couple of tins and some YouTube before bedtime. In the morning, got out to a nicely preheated car, charged to 100%, and then short drive to the track, and it only uses about 5% to get to the track. We're back to full power again. here. Take you on this straight. Bombing going on there, no?
Does it derate a bit when it gets warmer?
Yeah, so if you have a look now, you see the far right hand side of the throttle thing, that's as far as it will go.
Oh, okay.
So it's probably about, that white car's been black flag.
Yeah, that's because it's span.
Yeah, it didn't go in, yeah. Voiceover in here again. So at this point I'd done 3-4 laps, decided to come into the pits, give the tyres a check. Ideally I want to be running them at about 38 psi, so here they're at 42 odd psi, so you've got to let some air out and carry on. That is 5 or 6 sessions done. I'm down to 29% battery. Car was getting hot, I was getting hot. I'm going to head and get a quick coffee and a quick rapid charge. Now, charger says it's 12 minutes away, which is fine, so I'll plug in, leave it there for 20 minutes, probably get to 60% or so, and then come back and do the rest of the session before lunch. I haven't got adaptive cruise control or anything. I think when the brakes and the ABS system gets a bit hot, it doesn't like doing the adaptive cruise control, but that's fine. We're going to be driving to the charger. We'll go at a genteel pace and it will just cool everything down. Guarantee it'll be working on the way back.
A few moments later.
Just like that, 4 minutes down the road, get some air flowing over the brakes and the braking system, and we've got adaptive cruise control back again. Cars don't like being hot, do they? Here we go, coming into the Osprey charging hub. So, car's charging and cooling down. We're rapidly going up to its max charge, which will be 150 kilowatts. charge. McDonald's. So, we have been charging for, I don't know how long, we shall see. But, we're at 70%. I've had enough time to go and get myself a coffee and a wrap as a bit of brunch. Get the car disconnected, and we should be on our way. And that is what's involved in charging an EV. So heading back to the track, the drive from the chargers to the Autodrome, it's actually a really nice one. It's only about 12-14 minutes, and there's a really nice long lane running back into the Autodrome. The astute amongst you might have spotted that this isn't actually a video from the day that I did most of the recording, because I didn't film that when I was arriving back at the track. So this is from a previous track day I did there. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a wrap. This is what your tyres are likely to look like after a fair few hours at a track. And then time to whip them back off, stick them in the boot, and head on home. Yeah, 476. 476. Is it?
It's twin charge, right? Is it
Twin charge, yeah.
Twin charge.
Yeah.
Twin charge and from
No, it's electric.
Is it like? Oh! Oh, this is the actual Polestar, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not the Polestar one. It's not the Polestar one. For the Polestar one? No, this is the maximum power you get for the Polestar 2. It's 476 horsepower. Yeah, I mean, you might have, I think the Polestar 3 has recently released on 500 horsepower, or 560 horsepower, but yeah, in kilowatts, this is 350 kilowatts. Yeah. Yeah, so just shy of 500 horsepower. How many laps do you do one time? A lot? Yeah. What's 78. And that is another fantastic track day at Bedford Autodrome done. So what are the stats? I've done 99.9 miles today. My average power usage is 99.9 kilowatt hours per 100 miles. So this is a 78 kilowatt hour battery. So I've used 99.9 kilowatt hours today, which means I've had to top up a couple of times. I'll put the stats up here to show you my fill-ups and how much it cost and so on and so forth. So filled up last night, that was about £23, but that was whilst I was sleeping, so no grief there. Then I filled up just before lunch, and then I filled up over lunch because I miscalculated when they shut the track. I thought it was 1, but it's actually 12:30. Never mind. Tyres wore out quite a lot of the tread on the front right hand tyre. Pads still look intact, everything's fine. Once the car cools down, it all goes happy again, so there's no grief or anything to worry about there. I have got 42% battery, and it's going to take me about 52% to get home. So I'm going to very quickly stop off on the way home. Do I stop off now, or do I stop off as I get closer to home? I'm definitely not going to make it home on 42%, so I will probably stop at a charger here, add 10%, and then just head on home. Awesome.